It all started on a gloomy Monday morning. I had just received the news that my position was being eliminated due to company restructuring. The shock hit me like a ton of bricks, and as I left the office with a box of my belongings, I couldn't help but feel like my world was crumbling. For days, I wallowed in self-pity, binge-watching Netflix and drowning in a sea of tears. I was convinced that this was the end of the road for me, and the job market felt like an impenetrable fortress. My sister, however, had a different perspective. One evening, she came into my room, found me buried under a mountain of tissues, and said, "Enough is enough. Wallowing won't pay the bills. It's time to rise again." At first, I resisted. I felt defeated, and the thought of facing rejection after rejection in the job hunt was overwhelming. But my sister wasn't having it. She told me to start with small, manageable steps. "You can't solve everything at once," she said, "but you can take control of your journey." That's when she introduced me to the 3A-step strategy. First things first, she insisted, get out of bed. The longer you stay there, the harder it is to break free from the cycle of despair. Trust me, I've been there. Reluctantly, I followed her advice. The next morning, I forced myself out of bed, showered, and put on something other than the pajamas I'd been living in. It was a small victory, but it felt like the first step towards reclaiming my life. "Now," she continued, "take action. Don't just sit around waiting for things to change. Make them change." So with a newfound determination, I started my 3A-step strategy. The first A stood for apply. Every day I sent out 3 job applications tailored to positions I genuinely wanted. I crafted cover letters, polished my resume, and hit the send button, even when doubt lingered in the back of my mind. The second A was for adapt. My sister reminded me that flexibility was key during tough times. I spent time each day updating my skills, learning about new industries, and expanding my network. It was daunting, but I embraced the challenge. Finally, the third A was for advocate. My sister stressed the importance of self-promotion and reaching out to my network for support. I began attending networking events, reaching out to former colleagues, and building connections through LinkedIn. With each passing day, my sister's advice became a guiding light. Instead of focusing on the closed doors, I started seeing the ones that were cracked open, waiting for me to push through. Little did I know, this journey was just beginning, and the 3A-step strategy would prove to be the beacon that led me out of the darkness. Look out for When I Lost My Job Part 2 and discover some amazing twist.